the biggest concern is the severe thunderstorm warning that is now in place for Cypress and for northwestern Harris County, which does include all the way up towards the Tomball area. So inch-size hail, it's looking more likely we're seeing pea-size hail with this storm, but 60-mile-an-hour winds is definitely a possibility with it, even though winds with what at last check were between 25 and 30 miles an hour. But I think for the most part, our main concern is the heavy rain causing some possible minor flooding as well as some ponding on roadways for portions of northwestern Harris County. And so, and that's the reason why the National Weather Service did add those additional counties into the flood watches. And so just keep in mind that does include Houston, the Woodlands, Navasota, Grimes County, as well as Waller County. Walker County not included in that, but areas west of town, especially Sealy, also included under that flood watch for until 7 a.m. Monday. But as we progress through the rest of our evening and into the overnight hours, we're still going to have to watch these storms pretty closely because we are expecting the possibility of some of these downpours actually to move into the Houston area, especially as we get closer towards the 5 o'clock to 6 p.m. hours. So lots of potential for some more downpours to move into the Houston area. So you might want to just have those app notifications on from the KHU11 app. We are going to be providing the latest updates and continuous updates at least through the rest of our evening. And we are expecting those conditions to remain mostly a little bit dicey, especially when it comes to the weather conditions west and north of Houston. I don't know if you're in Houston right now and if you are making your way across town, we are not looking at really any heavy rainfall, but if you are in Cypress or areas north of town, we're looking at a strong storm, a severe storm in fact, because that's why the National Weather Service did issue that severe thunderstorm warning that's now in place until 4:45 this evening, and it does have the potential for some very dangerous lightning, heavy rainfall, some possible minor flooding. We're not looking at a tornado threat currently at the moment. I think for the most part, it's just going to be the gusty wind and the heavy rain threat that are going to be the primary concerns with this storm that's currently moving through the Cypress area. And so just keep in mind that lots of lightning currently happening to the north of Katy, and that is heading in towards Cypress and in towards the Tomball area along the Grand Parkway as well as 290. So definitely be extra cautious if you're northwest of Houston, because we are tracking this severe thunderstorm that is currently making its way through that area. And just keep in mind that we are keeping that weather impact alert in place until 9 p.m. This evening, and because we do have the potential for more of these downpours to make its way into the Houston area. So once again, weather impact alert until 9 p.m. Downpours and flood threat mainly northwest of Houston. However, we cannot rule out the possibility that some of these downpours and storms could make it into Houston proper later on this evening. So if you come across those flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown. Definitely be very cautious. You don't want to be stranded on those roadways, and that's just say for the most part, just have at least 2 or more ways to receive those weather alerts as we track these storms through this evening. But for the most part, we are still looking at some pretty heavy rain and a strong storm now moving in and around the Cypress area as I speak. And currently right now, the radar is just lighting up all with heavy rain, lightning, some gusty winds, as well as some possible hail with the storm that's currently in northwestern Harris County. The good news though, this is the latest hail scan that we are seeing. We're seeing that hail scan just decrease in size, but I think if you are traveling along the Grand Parkway right now, the Grand Parkway and West Road, you might get some small hail with these storms that are currently moving into that area. But we're looking at some pretty, some more hail, of course, to the west of the just northeast of Patterson, but for the most part, I think West Road and the Grand Parkway. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this road that's currently right here. That's closer towards. This is the Bridgeland Creek Parkway in the Grand Parkway. That's where we're looking at this hail, this small hail that's now moving into that area, just to the north of Mason Road. So this is south of Jack Road. This is Desert Orange Tip Drive. I know these are a lot of new developments in this area, a lot of new subdivisions in those areas. And so just keep in mind that if you are on the Grand Parkway north in Katy, south of Cypress, you might run into some small hail on the roadways. And I think for the most part, this this latest scan is showing that that hail is going to be small, but it doesn't take much for it to cause damage, especially if you are driving in these conditions. And so the hail threat is definitely there. We have the heavy rain threat, we have the dangerous lightning threat, and we also have that flooding threat currently in place right now as we track these storms that are moving through the Cypress area currently at the moment. So definitely we are still seeing some heavy rainfall. This is the latest scan happening right now, and it's looking like this rain is not expected to let up anytime soon, especially west and north of the Houston area. So we are tracking some pretty dangerous lightning with that severe thunderstorm warning in place for Cypress. And again, we are continuing to track the latest updates. Once this storm continues its track to the northeast, we will be back on here on KHOU 11 Plus or streaming live wherever you're seeing this from. And we will continue to bring the latest updates on our weather threat for this evening here across the Houston area. Definitely be safe out there, as well as give yourself enough time making it to your destination, and turn around, don't drown, because we are looking at that elevated flood threat with these storms that are now to the west and northwest of Houston. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll be back here in a few minutes later on for our 5:30 newscast. Make sure to tune in as well. We're going to be on digital streaming. I, along with our anchor Trace and Bragg, will be giving you the latest updates. So definitely have a good and safe rest of your day.